Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is Explanation of Battle Through the Heavens episode number 186 based on novel. So let's start. After this roar gradually disappeared, that golden figure in the sky swiftly began to shrink. The figure recovered his original form. His body moved as he turned into a golden light that rushed toward everyone while he laughed. Junior Pavilion Chief, congratulations. Elder Ching Cheng congratulated him with a smile when he saw the laughing Xiao Yang head over. It was a lucky breakthrough. Xiao Yang grinned and replied. He twisted his body. A feeling of being full of strength was emitted. He was much stronger compared to 3 days earlier. The peak of an 8-star Dozun and the 9th star were merely a step away, but there was an enormous difference between them. Based on Xiao Yang's estimation, if he were to completely unleash the King Kong glass body and the clan tattoo strength at the same time, his strength would be comparable to a 4 or 5 change peak Dozun. Moreover, if he were to include the Great Heaven Creation Palm and his other powerful Do skills, he would be able to fight against a 6-change peak Dozun expert. Has anything happened during these few days? Xiao Yang randomly asked. He only smiled after seeing everyone shake their heads. His eyes shifted to the deepest parts of the ancient wasteland region. They were narrowed slightly as he said, "We have delayed another few days. Looks like we must quicken our pace and hurry to the ancient region stage. It would not be good for us to arrive late." Kaylin and the rest nodded. Nearly a dozen groups of people, if not more, passed by this mountain during these 3 days. Based on the direction they were heading, they were clearly charging toward the ancient region stage. It was likely that many experts had already gathered there. Let's go. We should not delay any longer. It is best for us to leave now. Xiao Yang also understood that they were pressed for time. He immediately waved his hand as he gave a command. Should we use this big fellow as a ride and hurry over? The strength of the ancient heaven demon python is considered to be one of the strongest in this ancient wasteland region. We will be able to use its fierceness to charge through if we meet any other ferocious beasts along the way. It will save us some trouble. Qing Lin pointed at the enormous heaven demon python lingering in the air and laughed. Haha, this is naturally the best. Xiao Yang was startled. He immediately smiled and nodded. His body was the first to move as he rushed onto the large body of the heaven demon python. The rushing sound of wind appeared behind him as Cai Lin, the little fairy doctor, and Yun Yun quickly followed. That incomparably violent heaven demon python had become extremely gentle under Qing Lin's control. It did not resist even a little. When Qing Lin emitted a whistle, a dense black fog was quickly emitted from the heaven demon python's body. After which, it formed a black cloud that was driven by the heaven demon python. It moved its body and rushed toward the deepest parts of the ancient wasteland region like a thunderbolt. The mountain where Xiao Yang's group had been was quite far from the ancient region stage. If they were to travel normally, they would require at least 3 days. Fortunately, they had the heaven demon python as their stead this time around. This saved them a lot of trouble. The fierceness of this big fellow was quite infamous in this ancient wasteland region. An ordinary ferocious beast would not dare to appear and stop it after sensing it. Xiao Yang's group was able to take the initiative and detour around those ferocious beasts that were comparable to the heaven demon python in terms of strength. Even if these beasts were able to detect the heaven demon python, they would not purposefully pursue it because of their fear. In this way, Xiao Yang's speed had significantly increased. Xiao Yang also came across some factions along the way, but most of them were factions that Xiao Yang had never met before. They were likely factions that usually kept a low profile. These factions usually did not show themselves, but they did possess a strong foundation. They were like the Cloud Wind sect, which Xiao Yang had never even heard of, much less even seen. However, that faction possessed 3 experts at the peak of the Dozun class. One of them even had half a foot in the Ban Sheng class. This strength was comparable to the elders or even grand elders in renowned factions like the Profound Sky sect. Although these factions were quite strong, Xiao Yang did not intend to stop and befriend them. Currently, all of them had come with the same aim. Unless they possessed an extremely special relationship, they would ultimately end up fighting each other. That fragile relationship could easily be broken by the temptation of the Bodhisattva ancient tree. Even though there were many factions who wished to step forward and express their goodwill because of the stead that Xiao Yang's group rode, Xiao Yang did not give them the opportunity to do so. He asked Qing Lin to increase their speed, causing those fellows to be rebuked. Xiao Yang's group spent 2 days traveling without any obstructions before they gradually approached the area of the ancient region stage. The ancient region stage was rumored to be the site of a battle that happened during ancient times. Many extremely powerful experts had once died during this battle, causing the land to vaguely create a strange pressure. It was this pressure that caused this place to be the only location within the ancient wasteland region where ferocious beasts did not dare to tread. Additionally, this ancient region stage was located at an intersection between the middle and deepest part of the ancient wasteland region. One could enter the deepest part of this ancient region from this stage. Therefore, many factions had chosen to come to this safe resting spot in this ancient wasteland region. The Heaven Demon Python was withdrawn when Xiao Yang's group was around 5 kilometers away from the ancient region stage. The beast was too big and attracted too much attention. It must naturally be stored away in order to avoid some unnecessary trouble. Xiao Yang's group flew for another 10 minutes or so after approaching the ancient region stage. An enormous square suddenly appeared in their line of sight. Xiao Yang's group was stunned when they saw this square appear in the wilderness. Only after seeing the dense crowd of humans standing on the square did their hearts finally came to a sudden understanding. This place was likely the so-called ancient region stage. Everyone, be careful. Xiao Yang sighed in relief after seeing that so many people had gathered together. There were ferocious beasts all over this ancient wasteland region. It was the first time he had seen so many people since entering the wasteland. It caused him to relax a little, but Xiao Yang understood that this feeling could not be relied on. Hence, he softly uttered words of warning. "Aye." Everyone nodded when they heard Xiao Yang's reminder. They had covered the 1,000+ meter distance within the blink of an eye. They slowly landed after approaching the enormous square. Their arrival also attracted some eyes, but these eyes quickly shifted away. Some groups and experts hurried to this place during this period of time. It was nothing surprising. The bloody scent on these people is really dense. Xiao Yang's eyes swept over the crowd, which had separated into small circular groups of varying sizes. There was a similar scent radiating from all these people. All of them boasted a bloody scent. This scent was not the blood of humans. Instead, it was that of ferocious beasts. Don't tell me that these fellows have formed groups to hunt those ferocious beasts. Xiao Yang felt some doubt in his heart, but he did not open his mouth to ask. Instead, he slowly led Kaylin's group to the square before heading to the middle. Under normal circumstances, the Jiyu clan would likely not give up such an opportunity. The Bodhisattva heart and Bodhisattva seed possessed a miraculous effect on the younger generations. The people who were at the peak of the Do Zun class. Some new elite Do Shungs might even appear as a result. Xiao Yang naturally did not wish to search for the Jiyu clan. The one he wanted to find was Zun. With her status in the Jiyu clan, she would definitely be given the chance to come and attempt to find this Bodhisattva ancient tree. Due to the beautiful Kaylin, the pristine Yun Yun, and the gorgeous little fairy doctor, their group attracted a number of unusual gazes when they walked into the square. The group that could reach this place possessed a great strength. Moreover, there were all sorts of people present. If these people still possessed some sense of reasoning, they would not have been able to resist stepping forward to strike up a conversation. Even though this was the case, some impudent gazes still caused the faces of Kaylin's group to turn ice-cold. Xiao Yang did not meet anyone he was familiar with as he walked, causing him to feel a little surprised. Upon approaching the middle of the square, he began to discover a problem. It seemed that the groups or people that were closer to the middle of the square were stronger. Those at the outer edges were the weakest. He wondered if this kind of positioning occurred naturally or it was the result of someone's actions. Xiao Yang knit his brows. His footsteps did not slow as he gradually arrived at the middle of the square in front of everyone's eyes. Only after arriving at that spot did Xiao Yang discover that there was a 1,000-foot large 2-meter-tall stone stage present at the middle. There were some people on the stone stage, but their numbers were a lot less than those below. Nevertheless, the people on the stage all expressed a common trait. Their auras were all extremely powerful. Xiao Yang was startled when he came across the stage. However, he did not give it any additional thought. His eyes swept over the stone stage as a smile immediately surfaced on his face. He finally found some familiar figures, especially when it came to a green-clothed beautiful lady seated with her eyes shut in the crowd. A gentleness flashed across his eyes. "Let's go and meet some familiar people." Xiao Yang turned his head and informed everyone. After which, he stepped onto the stone stage and walked to the Jiyu clan area. However, the moment Xiao Yang stepped onto the stone stage, he suddenly sensed ice-cold eyes thrown at him. At the same time, a faint ice-cold voice slowly sounded from the stone stage. "This place is not where you should come. Get lost." Xiao Yang's footsteps paused when he heard this ice-cold voice. He turned his head. As his eyes glanced over, the corner of his mouth was lifted into an arc. "Feng Qing." The ice-cold voice that suddenly sounded on the stone stage attracted some surprised gazes. The eyes of some people began to gloat when these eyes swept over Xiao Yang and Feng Qing. Xiao Yang Gege. The group from the Jiyu clan sitting in a corner of the stone stage also shifted their eyes over because of Feng Qing's voice. That green-clothed young lady, who had been resting with her eyes shut, had opened them at this moment. Her pretty eyes locked onto the skinny young man who had stepped onto the stone stage. She was momentarily startled before some joy began to surge into her eyes. "Ha ha, it looks like Xiao Yang has met with some trouble. It is unexpected that he has also formed a grudge with the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe." A silver-robed man by the side smiled as spoke. This person was not unfamiliar. He was one of the 4 great generals of the Jiyu clan and had entered the heavenly tomb to train with Xiao Yang back then, Jiyu Hua. Zuna bunched her eyebrows together when she heard his words. Her bright eyes landed on the colorfully clothed woman as she softly said, "This heaven demon phoenix tribe is going overboard. Don't be anxious to intervene. Xiao Yang will be able to resolve it." Jiyu Qingyang faintly laughed. With his senses, he was naturally able to tell that Xiao Yang had already become a 9-star dozun. Although Feng Qing'er's aura was a little strange, Xiao Yang was able to defeat Jiyu Yao, who had reached the peak of an 8-star dozun when he was a 5-star dozun. Even less needed to be said now. Zuna nodded. Her bright eyes suddenly slid to a spot behind Xiao Yang and finally paused on Cai Lin. An unknown fluctuation rose within her eyes. The stone stage, where many discussions had been occurring, became a lot quieter as a result. Numerous eyes gathered on Xiao Yang. A noisy girl, there is no need to bother. However, Xiao Yang merely smiled under the focus of these many pairs of eyes. He did not even turn his head to Feng Qing'er. All he did was turn his head to the group behind him and randomly utter some harsh words. After which, he lifted his foot and climbed onto the stone stage. A furious green surged onto Feng Qing'er's face when she heard Xiao Yang's words. Both of her eyes became unusually cold. She waved her hand and a colorful pillar tore through space like lightning. It ruthlessly shot toward Xiao Yang's head. Bang! Xiao Yang's feet paused when he sensed Feng Qing'er's sudden attack. His left hand was extended and grabbed that colorful pillar. At the same time, a frightening flame quickly appeared. It transformed into a ferocious string of flames that rushed toward Feng Qing'er through the pillar. Feng Qing'er's eyes turned cold upon seeing this flame. She was aware of the great strength of Xiao Yang's heavenly flame. She pulled her finger across the line and the pillar was cut apart. At the same time, a vast and mighty aura that was ancient and experienced suddenly surged out of her body in all directions. An earth-shaking phoenix cry vaguely appeared. This feeling, it is indeed that of an ancient heaven phoenix. Xiao Yang's heart shook when he sensed Feng Qing'er's aura. This aura and feeling was somewhat similar to the ancient heaven phoenix avatar that had died a countless number of years ago back in the ancient forest of the Dosheng remains. Although Xiao Yang was not certain why this aura had appeared, he was certain that the reason Feng Qing'er's strength had soared was definitely related to that dead heaven demon phoenix. Xiao Yang, today, you will use your life to compensate me for the pain that I have received. Feng Qing'er's face was icy cold as she glared at Xiao Yang with a great hatred. If Xiao Yang's group had not snatched the dragon phoenix origin fruit, they would not have suffered punishment after returning. Fortunately, they were able to find a trace of heaven phoenix essence blood from within the heaven phoenix corpse that they had brought back from the ancient forest, but that essence blood was quite weak. Hence, the heaven demon phoenix tribe experts decided to forcefully transplant the bones in order to obtain the pure heaven phoenix essence blood. They placed the bones with hidden heaven phoenix essence blood into the body of a clan member. However, this transplant would undoubtedly result in one enduring an endless amount of pain. There were a total of 10 young clan members who had undergone the bone transplantation in the heaven demon phoenix tribe, but it only succeeded for 2 people. One of them was Feng Qing'er. Those 8 others, who had failed, all died. The eyes of Cai Lin and the others behind Xiao Yang turned cold when they saw Feng Qing'er attacking as she pleased. Doqi surged out of their bodies. After which, many pairs of eyes coldly looked at Feng Qing'er as Doqi gathered in their palms. You are Xiao Yang? Since Qing'er wishes to spar with you, you should fight with her alone. The others need not intervene, otherwise, you will end up suffering a loss. A faint voice was suddenly transmitted from behind Feng Qing'er when Doqi surged from Cai Lin's group. Everyone looked over, only to find a white-robed man. Surprisingly, this man had rare-colored pupils, appearing extremely strange. Over a dozen experts from the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe were staring at Xiao Yang's group in an unfriendly manner when man with colored pupils spoke. Clearly, they would all attack at the first disagreement. The ones who will suffer a loss will perhaps be your group, right? A similarly calm voice was suddenly transmitted from another direction after man with the colored eyes spoke, causing the man to be startled. His eyes glanced toward the source of the voice before frowning and demanding, Jiyu Qingyang? Is your group also planning to interfere? Ha, if it is a one-on-one fight, we naturally not need to intervene. However, I cannot really endure watching people bully others with numbers. Jiyu Qingyang faintly laughed. After which, his eyes slid to Xiao Yang as he nodded. Xiao Yang returned a smile when he saw Jiyu Qingyang nod, but his eyes remained on the green-clothed girl from the Jiyu clan. The Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe was not an ordinary faction. Even a faction like the Jiyu clan would not easily clash with them. The reason that they were willing to intervene was likely because of Zun Er. That green-clothed lady in the crowd sweetly smiled at Xiao Yang when she felt his gaze. That short-lived flower-like smile caused many experts to give her a sideward glance. Ha, all right. Since this is the case, we'll let you give it a try, the colorful-eyed man stared at Jiyu Qingyang for a moment. He did not expect Xiao Yang to possess such a relationship with the Jiyu clan, but he was extremely cunning. He smiled as he turned his head to speak to Feng Qing'er. Feng Qing'er nodded after hearing the words of the man with colorful pupils. Her eyes coldly looked at Xiao Yang as she cried out, "Xiao Yang, do you dare to step forward and accept this challenge?" Xiao Yang smiled. He extended his hand and stopped the group behind him. Most of the people here were unfamiliar, so Xiao Yang saw a gloating expression in their eyes. He had come to this place for the Bodhisattva ancient tree, but this place was chaotic with all sorts of people. Many experts were also present. One needed to deter others if one wished to survive in this wasteland. Naturally, he could not step back now. "As you wish." Xiao Yang slowly stepped forward. His face still contained a smile, but both of his eyes flickered with a dangerous chill. Although he was uncertain why Feng Qing'er's strength had soared, she still lagged far behind him. Even though her strength had soared, she was only a 3-change peak dozun. Other 9-star dozuns might not be able to defeat such an expert, but this strength was nothing to Xiao Yang. A cold smile surfaced on Feng Qing'er's face when she saw Xiao Yang step forward. Her foot stomped on the ground as colorful silk shot out in all directions. The silk appeared like incomparably sharp blades since they were accompanied by an extremely sharp wind that covered the area within 100 feet around Xiao Yang. He had nowhere to retreat. It is still the same old tricks. Your strength has soared, but you are unable to control it. You are just like a beggar who has picked up a treasure. Xiao Yang slowly shook his head when he saw the colorful silks cover his sight. He took one step after another forward. A dense flame suddenly surged out of his body and wrapped around him. Any silk that charged into the flame would only be able to charge 5 feet forward before they were turned into ashes that scattered. Xiao Yang took one step after another toward Feng Qing'er as many people watched. His strolling steps appeared quite relaxed. Compared to Xiao Yang's comfortable manner, Feng Qing'er's face was a furious green. She had not expected that she would not be able to pose a threat to Xiao Yang after her strength had soared. How could her prideful self endure this? Heaven Phoenix Shadow. A furious cry was emitted from Feng Qing'er's mouth. Do Qi quickly surged out of her body and formed a 1,000-foot-large Heaven Phoenix illusory figure in the sky. Wave after wave of an ancient pressure spread. The enormous Heaven Phoenix illusory figure let out a clear cry as both of its wings were flapped. It carried a frightening might that ruthlessly shot toward Xiao Yang below. That momentum caused the expressions of many experts to change. Xiao Yang finally halted because of the enormous Heaven Phoenix illusory figure. He lifted his head and looked at the Heaven Phoenix that was swiftly being magnified. He was certain in his heart that the great increase in Feng Qing'er's strength was definitely related to that Heaven Phoenix skeleton in the ancient forest. Xiao Yang, die. The hatred on Feng Qing'er's face became even denser as she stared at the Heaven Phoenix illusory figure, which was less than 1,000 feet from Xiao Yang. An ice-cold cry echoed across the square. At this moment, Xiao Yang was unable to dodge even if he wished. It is still the same little tricks. However, Xiao Yang merely grinned when he heard Feng Qing'er's cold cry. He did not show any sign of dodging. All he did was slowly shake his head. At the same time, a golden light surged from his dark black eyes. After Xiao Yang's soft laughter rang out, a bright golden light suddenly erupted over the square like a golden sun. Most people hurriedly narrowed their eyes because of this glaring golden light. They were unable to see a human figure where the golden light had appeared. The golden light had already filled one's eyes. Although they were unable to see anything, those people present on the square were not ordinary people. They were still able to sense the enormous Heaven Phoenix illusory figure in the sky with its extremely majestic energy. They then sensed it ruthlessly collide with the spot where Xiao Yang stood. Bang! The entire square violently shook the moment the collision occurred. A powerful energy rippled along the ground and formed a circular shape, which suddenly spread apart. Some of the experts who were closer were forced to take a couple of steps back. The wild and violent energy spread apart as everyone forcefully opened their eyes. Dust filled their sight, and they were unable to see the exact situation. Arrogant brat. Some of the experts shook their heads when they saw this dust. This person dared to act arrogantly in the face of a full-force attack by a peak dozun. He was really seeking death. Feng Qing'er looked at the spot where dust filled the air. Her tensed body relaxed slightly as a snort was emitted from her nostrils. Ever since she had met Xiao Yang, it was the first time that she had gotten him to taste such a feeling. Bang! However, Feng Qing'er's snort had just sounded when the ground where the dust remained suddenly trembled. A golden light suddenly rushed out at an extremely frightening speed. This golden light was extremely huge, but an instant later, it turned into a skinny figure. Finally, this figure appeared in front of Feng Qing'er in a ghost-like fashion in front of many stunned eyes. How is this possible? Shock surged across Feng Qing'er's face when she saw Xiao Yang appear in front of her with his clothes completely intact. Before she could launch another attack, a palm was rapidly magnified in her eyes. The clear sound of a slap suddenly echoed over the stone stage. Everyone saw Feng Qing'er's body fly back and rub against the ground. It only came to a slow stop about 100 meters away. Her thin and frail yet pretty face was left with a blood-red handprint. Traces of blood hung on the corner of her mouth as some disbelief remained visible on her face. She had been slapped so hard by Xiao Yang that she had fainted. Regardless of where your strength has come from, it ultimately does not belong to you. You used some unorthodox means. Xiao Yang looked at the figure in the distance with cold eyes. His voice was calm and rippleless. Strength could only be relied upon if one obtained it from training. When Xiao Yang had obtained Xiao Shen's inheritance back then, he had not crazily increased his own strength. Instead, he had done his best to suppress it. On the other hand, Feng Qing'er had gone all out to try and raise her strength, but this was an unorthodox method. She would never truly reach the peak. Hiss. The surrounding observers inhaled a breath of cool air when they saw Xiao Yang send Feng Qing'er flying with a palm strike. This fellow really did not know how to show mercy to a beautiful girl. How violent. If I was in his place, I would not be able to strike such a beauty. I would prefer to secretly beat her when there are only the two of us. Xiao Yang randomly swung his hand as he heard these strange laughs. His face was without expression. Feng Qing'er's earlier attack intended on taking his life. Xiao Yang would not treat such a person as a woman any longer. Instead, she was an enemy. Xiao Yang had never shown mercy when facing an enemy, regardless of how beautiful she was. Bastard. The group from the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe, along with the man with colored pupils, were stunned when they saw what happened. The members of the tribe immediately became furious when they recovered. They stood up and prepared to attack. Stop, Qing'er is weaker than him. Carry her back. The man with colored pupils suddenly opened his mouth when these people were about to attack. His colored pupils looked at Xiao Yang as he softly said, "You are quite strong. If you wish to probe someone else's strength in the future, you should do it yourself. You are really nothing to ask a woman to do it." Xiao Yang glanced at this man with colored pupils as he reprimanded him. "Ha ha, I have learned my lesson. I will act personally the next time around." That man with colored pupils seemed to smile in an unconcerned manner, but his colorful eyes flickered with a dangerous glint. "I will await you, any time." A grin had also surfaced on Xiao Yang's face. After which, he ignored that person and turned around. He led Kaylin's group to where the Jiyu clan was located. The smile on the face of the man with colored pupils slowly disappeared when Xiao Yang turned around. A jade pendant in his hand was quietly turned into dust before scattering from his palm. "He, you are really ruthless. This is the first time I have seen you beat a woman." The silver-robed Jiyu Hua gave Xiao Yang a thumb-ups and laughed when he saw him leading a group over. Xiao Yang was helpless when he heard Jiyu Hua's words. He cupped his hands to Jiyu Qingyang and the rest. After which, his eyes looked at Zun in the middle. "Xiao Yang Jiji, you are very late this time around." Zun softly laughed after seeing Xiao Yang look over. Her pretty eyes suddenly swept behind Xiao Yang as she spoke. "This must be older sister Cai Lin, right? I have frequently heard Xiao Yang Jiji mention you." Kaylin was slightly startled when she heard Zun words. She had heard Xiao Ding mention Zun back in the Jiomar Empire. This person was Xiao Yang's childhood sweetheart. If that incident hadn't happened, the one who would have become Xiao Yang's wife would most definitely have been her. Moreover, Kaylin also understood that Zun occupied a great part of Xiao Yang's heart. From a certain point of view, Cai Lin was a little like the third party in this relationship. This kind of embarrassing position caused Kaylin to feel a little uneasy, but she still nodded gently as a form of politeness. Xiao Yang felt a little embarrassed in his heart when he heard the two women speak, but he was unable to say anything. He led his group over and sat down. The group that followed behind Xiao Yang was mostly women. Other than a couple of elders from the flower sect, all of them possessed a lovely appearance. Hence, only at this moment did Jiyu Qingyang and the rest discover that the atmosphere had become a little strange. After hearing Zun's earlier words, many eyes landed on Kaylin. They were aware of plenty of information related to Xiao Yang. Therefore, they understood who Kaylin was after some thoughts. Their expressions quickly became a little strange. This Xiao Yang, was he really planning on enjoying both women? In spite of their relationship with Xiao Yang, they involuntarily felt a blotch in their hearts when they thought of this. Just what position did Zun possess in the Jiyu clan? She was the goddess in the hearts of countless clan members. Forget about Xiao Yang having successfully obtained Zun's heart. The fact that he was planning on enjoying two beauties was a little too good, right? Although these thoughts whirled around their hearts, none of them were foolish enough to give voice to these thoughts. Since Zun had not created a disturbance, they were unable to say much despite feeling a knot in their hearts. Zun appeared quite calm while everyone was feeling embarrassed. She was gentle and polite as she greeted everyone behind Xiao Yang. However, she paused slightly when her eyes met Nalan Yenran's eyes. The last time that the two of them had met was when Nalan Yangran had come to the Xiao clan to end the engagement. At that time, Nalan Yangran was haughty and arrogant. After these years of polishment, she was no longer the same arrogant and overbearing person from back then. Nalan Yangran's face did not reveal anything in front of Sun Er's scanning eyes. However, her heart was complicated as she recalled something. When she was about to leave after having successfully resolved the issue of ending the engagement, Sun Er, who was seated beside the window, had uttered some words to her. "Lady Nalan, hopefully you won't regret what you have done today." These words, which contained some cold indifference, were spoken in a somewhat soft and ethereal voice over a decade ago, yet Nalan Yangran clearly remembered them. Moreover, the thing that caused her to feel a little downcast was that these words had come true 10 years ago. She had indeed regretted her actions, but this regret was useless. "Xiao Yang Gge, you have come to the ancient wasteland region because of the Bodhisattva ancient tree, right?" Sun Er's bright eyes shifted to Xiao Yang after having greeted everyone. She asked him a question. Xiao Yang hurriedly nodded when he saw that Sun Er did not do anything. He felt an apology take shape in his heart. The guilt in his heart had become even denser the more Sun Er acted as though she was unconcerned. He understood that Sun Er was unwilling to let this matter cause a din and give him a headache. "We will be able to enter the deepest part of the ancient wasteland region if we walk further north. The Bodhisattva ancient tree is in that direction." Sun Er's delicate finger pointed to the north of the ancient region stage as she softly said. "However, it is very difficult to reach the Bodhisattva ancient tree because there is a ferocious beast army guarding it 50 kilometers from here. They have surrounded the deep region. We must charge through the sea of ferocious beasts in order to enter. Everyone here has given it a try during these past few days. However, everyone was blocked and forced to withdraw. The ferocious beast army is not only full of a frightening number, there are also some powerful ones among them that are very difficult to deal with." Sun Er lifted her face. Sunlight scattered down from the sky. Her upturned nose caused her face to reveal an extremely beautiful outline. A gentle jade-like luster seeped out of her skin, appearing like a pure lotus. Such beauty was completely different than Cai Lin's bewitching beauty. No wonder there is such a rich bloody scent on everyone's bodies. They actually charged into the ferocious beast army, Xiao Yang muttered with a sudden understanding. Currently everyone here needs to join hands. Otherwise, none of us will be able to enter." Sun Er parted the black hair on her forehead. Her face turned to a spot that was a short distance away. There was an additional trace of solemnness in her pretty eyes as she said, "The temporarily alliance was suggested by that person. Xiao Yang Gge, you should be careful of him because he is from the Hall of Souls. Moreover, he is 1-2 people from the current Hun clan's younger generation who will likely be the next Hun clan chief." Xiao Yang's heart shook when he heard these words. His eyes followed Sun Er's gaze as he looked over. A black-clothed man was wearing a smile on his face and chatting with an expert from an unknown faction when Xiao Yang's gaze landed on him. The man had long black hair that randomly fell behind him. It appeared quite free and unruly. His face was as pale as jade, giving one a gentle feeling. The first impression that such a person gave others was extremely good. However, when such a first impression came from someone from the Hall of Souls, Xiao Yang felt a danger originate from deep within his heart. This black-clothed man did not say anything when the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe was finding trouble with Xiao Yang earlier, nor did he add insult to injury. Hence, Xiao Yang had not noticed him. After Sun Er had pointed out his identity, the caution in Xiao Yang's heart soared. He had made a lot of contact with the Hun clan and knew that this clan was extremely mysterious and unfathomable. All of them were extraordinary. This fellow might have a friendly appearance, but it was precisely this friendliness that caused him to appear even more dangerous. There was a good saying, "A dog that bites people doesn't bark." This black-clothed man clearly belonged to this category. Moreover, from what Sun Er had said, this fellow was 1 out of 2 people most likely to be the next clan head of the Hun clan. This proved that this person was definitely not someone that would be easy to deal with. Even someone as strong as Hun Ya from the younger generation of the Hun clan did not obtain such an evaluation. While Xiao Yang was observing the black-clothed man, the man seemed to have sensed something. He turned his head and looked at Xiao Yang's face, only to reveal a slight smile. Xiao Yang's eyes involuntarily narrowed when he saw the other party's smile, which seemed to represent friendly intent. After which, he turned his head and nodded at Sun Er. He softly said, "A very dangerous person. This person is called Hun Yu. His name is a little feminine, but he is definitely a man. According to the information that we have received, the competition within an ancient clan like the Hun clan is extremely cruel. The fate of those who fail is usually miserable. It is rumored that this Hun Yu has never failed since he was born. All of his competitors have fallen under his feet. Additionally, this person possesses the divine bloodline of the Hun clan." Sun Er's voice contained a rare seriousness. It seemed that this man called Hun Yu was indeed very difficult to deal with. Divine bloodline, huh? Xiao Yang's eyelids twitched. No wonder Han Yu had never failed. Such a bloodline just proved his potential. As long as he was rational and avoided doing anything foolish, his future was limitless. This Han Yu is different from the other members of the Han clan, who desire to fight and snatch your soul the moment they open their mouth. This person appears friendly, but his very bones are dark and ruthless. Jiyu Qingyang interrupted. His tone was filled with some fear. Xiao Yang slowly nodded. His heart regarded this Han Yu as a dangerous person. If he had the chance, Xiao Yang would kill this person at the first opportunity. Their stances were different. They were destined to be enemies. Since this was the case, it was necessary to prepare a murderous intent in his heart. The first to act was at an advantage while the last to act would suffer first. Xiao Yang understood this logic. Are we going to launch a full-scale assault and charge into the beast tide this time around? Xiao Yang glanced around him. There were at least 1,000 people gathered here. All of them clearly possessed a great strength. This lineup was worthy of being called terrifying. Yes, once the people here are properly arranged, we will once again charge into the beast tide. Otherwise, none of the factions will be able to successfully enter alone. The numbers that form the beast tide are too frightening. Zuna nodded and replied. At that time, our parties should gather together. It will be safer if we have more people. Xiao Yang gently nodded when he heard her reply. He was just about to speak when a soft cry suddenly reverberated over the square. He looked to the source of the sound. The voice was coming from that man called Han Yu. Everyone, you should all be aware of our current situation. Our aim is the Bodhisattva ancient tree in the deepest part of the ancient wasteland region. Whether we end up at odds after we reach that place is a little too distant for us to think about now because not a single faction among us will be able to charge through the beast tide alone. Han Yu's clear voice spread over the stone stage. There was something convincing about it. If one did not know about this person's identity and schemes, this Han Yu did possess a good demeanor. Our only chance is to gather everyone together and form an alliance. We will act like an arrow that violently pierced through the beast tide. Only by relying on all of our strength will we be able to tear apart the beast wave. Otherwise, there is no hope to reach the Bodhisattva ancient tree. Our alliance will not have any form of seniority or ranking. Hence, no one will give orders to another. Everyone can rest assured that no one will be exploited. Only mutual support is present. Of course, anyone who doesn't believe me can remain behind. I will not force anyone to continue, but whoever remains behind will return empty-handed. A silence appeared after everyone heard Han Yu's words. A moment later, many people began to nod their heads. No matter how one put it, there was one sentence that Han Yu had said that was correct. None of the factions here would be able to pass through the beast tide by relying on their own strength. The only way to reach the deepest part was to join hands and charge to it together. Brother Han Yu is correct. The Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe will accompany you during this attempt. The man with the colorful pupils opened his mouth and faintly spoke while everyone's hearts were swaying. Ha ha, in that case, I will thank Brother Jufeng. Han Yu smiled when he heard Jufeng's words. He cupped his hands to the man with colorful pupils in the distance. You are right. We will not be able to gain anything by remaining here. It is better if all of us make an attempt together. Many people were clearly convinced by the words from the man with colorful pupils. Quite a number of people immediately cried out. This continued to spread and an increasing number of people began to nod their heads in agreement. That fellow doesn't appear to be an ordinary person. Xiao Yang's eyes swept over the man with colorful pupils without leaving a trace. He made a comment. Ha, that person is called Jufeng. His reputation in the magical beast world is quite great, and it has already been decided that he will be the next tribal head of the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. His colorful eyes are the result of the Qi method he practices. Most of his Do skills train both of his eyes. They are quite rare and difficult to deal with. Jiyu Qingyang glanced at the man with colorful eyes and laughed. Xiao Yang nodded. No wonder he appeared to possess a high status within the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. He had already been picked to be the next chief. He was indeed extraordinary. Since no one has any objections, let us all get moving immediately. It is around noon now and the time when the ferocious beasts are laziest. Han Yu smiled when he saw that the majority had agreed to join hands to charge into the beast tide. The mouth on his white jade-like face was lifted into an arc. Let's also prepare to leave, Zuna softly said. Everyone should be careful when we charge into the beast tide. Even though everyone has gathered together, there is less than a 10% chance to succeed. That Han Yu and Jufeng are also aware of this success rate. They are only planning on using these people's strengths to try and penetrate deeper into the beast tide. At that time, they will be able to rely on their own strength to take advantage of the situation and break through. Most of the remaining people will become food for these ferocious beasts. These people have really underestimated the ancient wasteland region. We cannot charge through even with all these people. Xiao Yang's heart trembled upon hearing her words. There were hundreds of elite Dozuns present. One could easily find a large group of expert Dozongs. Such a powerful lineup was unable to break through the beast tide. Just how terrifying was the beast tide? Everyone in the square was beginning to move while Xiao Yang was feeling shocked in his heart because of the beast tide. Many figures rushed into the sky, after which, they remained suspended in the air like a close-knit dark cloud. Let's go. Xiao Yang did not delay any longer when he saw the main group beginning to move. He nodded at everyone before slowly rising into the air. The remaining people quickly followed, forming quite a large circle as they gathered together. Everyone, let's move. Han Yu glanced at Xiao Yang's group from the sky without drawing attention. After which, he looked at the sparse human figures on the square below. He ceased paying attention to them and let out a loud laugh. After which, his figure took the lead as he charged to the northern sky. A large black mass quickly followed, accompanied by the rumbling sound of wind being split. Xiao Yang's group was also mixed in this large contingent. They did not approach the front and attempt to stand out. The faster one's energy was exhausted, the earlier one would end up dying. That black mass of people was like a dark cloud as it flew through the sky with lightning-like speed. The 50-kilometer distance was covered within less than 10 minutes. When the large group flew over the final lush green mountain, black endless plains appeared in front of everyone's eyes. Xiao Yang's gaze leaped over the large crowd and looked over the black plains. His mouth immediately inhaled a violent breath of cold air. One could see black clouds above the endless plains as many large ferocious beasts filled the ground. They were packed tight and appeared like a blood-colored sea that extended into the horizon. Ferocious roars filled with violence continuously resonated over the plains like thunder. Is this the ancient wasteland region's beast tide? How frightening. Xiao Yang involuntarily muttered as he exhaled a cold breath. No wonder Zun had said that they unlikely to make it through despite so many experts gathering together. Compared to that beast tide, their group was like a grain of sand in the ocean. Xiao Yang's eyes leaped over the endless beast tide and scanned the distant dark area. Is the Bodhisattva ancient tree behind the beast tide? This video will end here.